Hey everyone, it is National Caregiver Awareness Month, and we are interviewing today Josh Basile and Kingsley Babila. Good morning, you guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's great to be here with you.
So glad to have you guys. Kingsley, tell us how long that you've been working with Josh as a caregiver.
I've been working with Josh for 14 years. It's been a hard journey with ups and downs, but we made it together. We both think of ourselves as family. So for some time now, it's going good, although we have some difficult moments.
Yeah, I can only imagine. But having interacted with you guys, I can see the closeness. And what are the different ways that you approach taking care of Josh?
Recognizing that Josh is paralyzed and it's difficult for him. So to do stuff by himself. And Josh is somebody with a strong mind. So I'm there to help as his hand to do stuff that he cannot do physically. I try to have empathy since he's paralyzed. With that, it helped me when things are hard. I use the empathy as a guidance to help him to do all his daily to help him with his physical activities. So that's how we've been doing it for some time now.
What advice do you have to create a good work-life balance, Kingsley?
With caregiving, it's a hard job. For example, I have kids, I'm married. When I'm home, I have to spend time with my kids, help them with their homework. I have time to spend with my wife. I have to spend some time with friends, make sure you have good sleep. You have to take care of your body. So when you get back to work, when you come to work, you're fresh to start back that day. And then one of the most important things is when I get to work, I focus on work. When I'm home, I focus on at home. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the most important things I do to move forward well with caregiving job, because it's kind of stressful work sometimes.
One of the big things with Kingsley and me, it's like Kingsley ends up spending more time with me than he does with his kids and his wife. Like it's hours in, he probably spends more time with me, and it's hard. That's a relationship right there. Just like marriage is hard. You know, the relationship between you and your caregiver is hard. Like you got to make it work. You got to make sure that you put the time in, you put the love in, the care in, the kindness in, to make sure that you guys don't butt heads and that you guys can live successfully together.
Right. Like a marriage too, like not taking one another for granted, I guess,
Absolutely.
Yeah. How can caregivers best take care of themselves?
You got to make sure that you have enough rest, you eat well, that's taking care of yourself. When you stretch out, if you can't do a shift, you need to talk to your client if you can come, so in order not to stress yourself that much. And then another thing is you got to make sure you discuss with your client, there must be a backup. So if you can't make it, there's somebody to back up, so the client have somebody to take care of him or her without any stressful situation.
You can't flip a switch and turn that off. So the fact that you can't turn off your disability and your needs to survive in the community, you need to have backup plans. You need to have different people, different layers of, if one person can't come in, then you turn to this friend. If this person can't come in, you turn to this family member. If this family member can't come in, you might have a backup agency that you can call where they can get somebody to you, hopefully that morning, that day. But you have to have backups, because if you put it all on one person, that's a recipe for disaster.
I think it's very eye-opening maybe for a lot of people to realize, like, that your caregivers are your hands, and depending on your disability, like that, they're key to your survival and just your happiness and well-being as
That's
well.
true.
And there's a million different ways of doing things with your hands. Like there's a million ways to brush your teeth, a million ways to feed yourself. But like I try to communicate with Kingsley and my caregivers kind of the way that it's most comfortable to me, just so that it's something that it doesn't have to be an enjoyable experience. It's great if it is, but it's an experience where you feel comfortable, you feel like you're getting the job done. And so I try to explain it different ways of like, if we can do it this way, it would be easier on me or this and that, but it's just good communication and practice. Practice makes perfect.
What tips and tricks do you have for caregivers that are just starting, Kingsley?
Being with George for many years, a lot of caregivers are filling some different shifts. So when a new caregiver is coming in, we need to train the person. And what we do is, like in the morning, you have to do some stretch. We show the caregiver how to do the stretch, and the person will do it. Like to brush his teeth, to do clean his face, do his hair. When I do it, you have to redo it in order to have the confidence and know how to do it. And then another thing we do is we do like a video recording. So the caregiver, when somebody new comes, he can see it and see how they do it and have that confidence how to do it. So keep that memory about it.
So seeing is believing.
Yeah.
So once you see it, then you can get the confidence you can do it, and you have that muscle memory.
Yeah. What else would you like to say to caregivers across the country, Kingsley?
Okay. To be a caregiver is not an easy job. It's a hard job. You need the physical part of it, the emotional part of it, everything together is a hard job. What I always say is the most important thing is communication. Keep a good relationship, because that person needs your help. He can't function well without the caregiver. So you are like the hand, he have the mind to do everything, but without the physical part of it, it is not completed. So the most important thing is have that empathy, good communication, spend more time with the family, relax, coming back to work. It will make the work more easier, make your friendship with the caregiver, not a friendship, more like a family. You enjoy the job. Although it's difficult, but everything will come through better.
That's beautiful. Kingsley, I'm so grateful for you. I think some people have like a job and some people have a calling, and clearly this is your calling. And I love the relationship between you and Josh. And so it was really nice to meet you, and thank you so much.
Nice meeting you too.
So now we're gonna turn the tables to Josh, and we're gonna ask him some questions about hiring caregivers and that kind of thing. What are the specific qualities you look for in a caregiver, Josh?
Reliability is so important. When someone says they're going to come, or someone says they're going to come at a particular time, making sure I can trust that they're going to be there, not only just for myself, but for the other caregiver that is trying to leave at a particular time. A lot of my other caregivers don't want to leave until someone arrives. And so reliability is key. Someone that is, I guess the word is trainable, someone that's willing to learn. Having the willingness to learn and try is so important with caregiving, because there's so many different ways to do things to take care of me. And there's a lot of different touches throughout the day to get me from bed to my wheelchair to tackling activities of daily living, and then from my wheelchair to bed to sleep. Like from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed, there's a lot of little things to live and to be a part of the day. So making sure that a caregiver is willing to try and participate and to help.
Yeah. Okay. So Josh, why is it so important to have your own caregiving team?
it's essential to have a caregiving team, because if you put it all on one person, one family member, one friend, it's just you're gonna end up having burnout. Putting that all into one person is too much to ask. And yes, that happens all throughout the country. There's so many caregivers, but with the right kind of approach and trying to find others, trying to find other community members, there's so many people in this world that want to help, whether it's in your neighborhood, your community, your church, your friends, your family, being able to call on others, or maybe it's an agency that you can have for emergency situations. And even working with your state's Medicaid, long-term care support programs, trying to work more to get more supports for you in your community, so it just doesn't fall on one person. It takes a team to take care of someone that needs a caregiver.
Yeah, it's very, very important, for example, with George, to have a team, not just one or two caregivers taking care of him, because he needs 24 hours care. Yeah. And for example, in 2019, my mom passed away, and now we had to go to Africa. That wasn't something that we were not expecting. It happened just like that. Okay, if I was just the only person doing it 7 days a week, he would be in trouble. Yeah, it should have been a serious headache on him. But since he had a team, it was easy to cover me for the time period that I wasn't around. So it's very, very vital to have a team that you work with. Just as you said, a friend, a family, an agency, it works out better.
What advice would you give someone when frustration or disagreements arise?
So no matter what, throughout your day, throughout life, being around somebody all day, every day, or just being around a caregiver a lot of hours, you're going to get frustrated. Life's not easy, but at the end of it, if you think about it, you're just trying to accomplish a task, and you want to do it with that person, and you need their help. You guys are working as a team. Nothing is gained by getting mad at your caregiver or getting frustrated at your caregiver. So kind of just controlling your thought process of the day. So just stepping back, taking one step back, one wheel rotation back, and looking at the bigger picture that you're a team, you're trying to do this together, and working together as a team doesn't always pointing fingers, pointing blame. It's what can we do to get to the end goal, and that's what we have to try to do.
We are all human beings. We get frustrated. Being a paralyzed person, there are some times that there are stuff that you asking your caregiver to do. He might not be, or she not doing it rightly. You get frustrated. Mm-hmm. But the most important thing is try not to talk rudely to the caregiver, because some people caregivers are different. Somebody might react so bad that you wouldn't expect that.
Yeah.
So the most important thing is calm down, trying to explain to the person what you want he or she to do, and try to walk a fine line with the caregiver. It's way better than getting frustrated and saying some rude stuff that the person might not like and react badly.
And doing kind of a role reversal. If you're the patient, the client, put yourself in the position of the caregiver and understand that how would you want to be communicated with?
Right. Yeah.
If they got frustrated or were rude to you, you'd probably be like, that sucks. That's not nice. Don't.
All right. You're trying to help, and
I'm trying to help.
Yeah.
So kind of doing that role reversal helps sometimes.
The golden rule, right? Treat others as you'd like to be treated.
Exactly.
Yeah. Josh, one last question. What are different ways to show that you show appreciation to your caregivers and caregiving team?
Just gratitude. After something happens where they do something for me, saying thank you. Or at the end of the day, just being like, just like looking them in the eyes and be like, I couldn't have done this day without you. And thank you for being in my life. And any time that you can do that and have a real true heart to heart and being like, thank you for being on this journey with me. It's just, I know I am so grateful for having Kingsley in my life for the last 14 years. I would not have been able to accomplish all the things that I've accomplished. I would not have been able to get through school. I wouldn't have been able to do my nonprofit and help families across the country. I wouldn't have been able to go on dates and fall in love. I wouldn't have been able to become a dad without Kingsley. So
Right.
I love Kingsley. I'm so grateful that he's been in my life.
Yeah. What he just said, that's exactly what he does. Everything you do after you're done doing it, it was a thank you. You put him in bed, you leave him, thank you. What you feed him, thank you. He doesn't stay without saying that, which means a lot.
Well, this has been amazing. I hope that other people who may be new to this and they're trying to hire caregivers or having trouble hiring caregivers, that this helps them, and the caregivers themselves, if they need advice. Kingsley, your years of experience are so valuable. So thank you both, and happy Caregiver Awareness Month.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen.